Today I want to talk about a pretty big issue that I had with the Vanguard Alpha that for some reason I can't find anybody talking about, and it's pretty substantial in my opinion. And what it has to do with is the mini map. And I know a lot of people's mind exactly will go to one place with the minimap, obviously the return of the MW19 minimap, and that's probably a bigger problem than the one I'm going to discuss, but it's not what I'm talking about in this video. But please change that, revert it to the traditional Call of Duty map too. But that's not what I'm talking about. Instead, what I want to talk about is what the minimap is kind of made up of, or the image it uses as a minimap. Because as you guys probably remember, this minimap looked a lot different from any other Call of Duty minimap that we've ever had, because traditionally a minimap would look like kind of a black gray map with white outlines to make out all the different things on the map, to let you know there's a wall here, there's debris here, or just there's something there, to really give you an idea of how you can move around the map. But that's not what they did inside this game, and instead they decided to just give us a, like, I guess, overview picture of the map, and that's what we use as our mini map. And to give you an example, if you actually clicked pause during the alpha, you can actually see a big version of the mini map that was kind of all of the maps together. And this is where we could actually see what we're looking at. Now, I do apologize that the quality of this picture isn't great, but to be honest, it is a cropped out picture that I expanded for you guys. So of course the quality is not going to be great, but it gives you the idea of what this mini map looked like. And as I said, it looks like someone just took an overview picture of the maps, and that's what we're using. And this may not seem like a problem at first, but it's really hard to make out where things are when you go with this method. The best example of this that I at least had was with Courtyard, because Courtyard, it's the map with all the breakable walls. Every wall is breakable, and it's, a pretty bad map in general, but more importantly, it's even made worse by this mini map, because when you look at your mini map here, it literally gives you no information. It does not show you where the cover is. It does not show you where the walls are. It doesn't even show you especially which walls are breakable and which ones aren't, just by looking at the mini map. Whereas in the past, this is something that we would be able to tell just by simply looking at the mini map. But here, we can't tell that. Like, we just have to remember what part of the maps are what, and then just remember, I guess. And this makes the mini map very, very useless. And I don't get why they decided to go this way with the mini map. And what blows my mind even more is that they actually didn't only make this version of the maps, because before the alpha even launched, they gave us this image here. And as you guys can see, this is how traditional maps and mini maps worked inside of Call of Duty's multiplayer. It would be nice to find, and show you where which part is where, where the walls are, where the breakable walls are, where is cover and stuff like that, and stuff you can't walk through and stuff like that. Like the important stuff that you need to know when you are playing multiplayer. And that's what we want, but instead they didn't implement this map that we know they have, because they used it here, and instead they use an overview which relays very little information compared to previous mini-maps. And honestly, I think the best way to really show off how important it is, or how much more helpful a traditional minimap is compared to this one, is by doing this. Because what I did is I got a screenshot of the Vanguard Alpha, and I got the screenshot of it with a traditional minimap, and then after that I got a screenshot of it with me using some Photoshop stuff to make it look like we have the traditional map here, because we do have the traditional style maps because they released those. But for now, let's look at it how it looks with this current map. So as you guys can see here, it's completely useless, because can you tell me on that minimap where the tires are on this map? No. Can you tell me where even the building is, let alone where the destructible walls on those buildings are? No, you can't make it out, because it's all just dirt, honestly. It just looks like dirt from this side, and you just can't make out where the buildings are, where anything is. You just can't make out anything. It is incredibly useless. But now let's use that little Photoshop magic and paste over the original or traditional style of mini maps, and boom, easy. I can tell you where the tires are because they're well defined on the map. I can tell you where the buildings are, and then more importantly, I can tell you where the walls are on those buildings. Like, they're just there and defined. And this is something that Sledgehammer developed because we know they did, because I have the images right here that they released. So I don't get why Sledgehammer decided to go with an overview that you really can't make out where anything is from it, instead of going with a traditional style map, because it just doesn't make any sense. I just don't get why they went with this garbage map, because it's literally, if it stays this way, will be even worse than MW19's minimap, and I could already tell you that. If you could beat MW 2019's minimap in being trash, you are doing something special, because my gosh, that's how useless your map currently is. Like, I just remember how many times I was playing this alpha and I saw a red dot on my minimap because I had a UAV, not that because they actually shot with unsuppressed guns, oh heavens no, but because I had a UAV and I saw them on the minimap, but I couldn't tell where they were really, because I just knew that they were kind of in this direction, but I didn't know how far ahead, because I couldn't really tell if they were in the building on the side of it, because it didn't really, show you that. So because of that, it was just completely useless at times. It made the UAVs even useless, and that's something that MW19 can't even say they did, which is insane to think about. But my gosh, I just hope that this is something that Sledgehammer Games does decide to change, because we know they have the assets, because they released the assets to us to make this the traditional style mini maps, and just to make them like that. And this is something that I think that Sledgehammer Games just has to do. Honestly, they just need to make the traditional mini map. We don't need it to look like how the map looks. We don't need it to be like MW19's not showing red dots when people are shooting unsuppressed guns. We don't need that. We just need a traditional style Call of Duty minimap. That's all we need. We don't need this to change. This is something that is completely fine. No one's ever complained about it, and it's great. So stop trying to change it. You're just ruining it every single time you do. Trust me. I know you want to change something up, make Call of Duty feel different, or something like the new thing about Call of Duty this time around, but this is just not the place to do it. The minimap is one of the greatest things about Call of Duty, and every single change that has been attempted to it has been terrible. I mean, even Treyarch tried this in BO4 with their Fog of War. That didn't go great either, but it wasn't as bad as MW19 or this either, though it still wasn't great. But anyways, though, hopefully this all made sense, because I know it's kind of hard to explain exactly why this is such a big problem, especially to a casual audience, because casual audience doesn't really use the minimap as well as a more veteran Call of Duty player. So I know it's not going to be something that's huge to them, but it's still something that I think just needs to change, and especially the fact that we know that they have the assets in order to change it. It's something that just needs to happen, in my opinion. But regardless, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. You guys have a problem with this while you guys are playing the alpha too, or maybe was it not that big of a problem? I'd love to hear what you guys think about it down in the comment section. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or over the head maybe, and laters, guys.